Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle. For those of you who do not know me, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by today. You guys, I can't get over this makeup look. I just love it. I will have this video linked down below so that you guys can see how I created this look if you have not already watched the 3 Looks 1 palette with I Don't Believe in Humans palette by Makeup by Shay. I'm going to definitely list this. Okay, that's out of the way. My obsession with my makeup, I can't help it. I'm going to be doing the eyeshadow palette lover tag, and this was created by Angelica Lyremar. I know I'm saying her name completely wrong. I'm butchering it. I apologize. I just started watching her channel recently and I absolutely adore her. If you guys have not, I would definitely go stop by. She does a whole bunch of different things and I love the way that she does her makeup. It's absolutely beautiful. But today I'm going to be doing her tag video and I'm super excited about this. I've seen this floating around all over YouTube and it has taken me forever to get to it as per usual because I take forever to get to a lot of things lately. Sorry about that. So the first question is a palette I regret not purchasing, and this would be the Give Me Glow Vintage Rose palette. I know that you can still get this and I'm still on the fence about getting it. And for a little bit there, I didn't think they were gonna have it anymore. I know that they're talking about no longer carrying it or something like that. I mean, that was kind of talked about a little bit, but I love the color story of this. I can't help it. It is so pretty and I have been wanting to try Give Me Glow Cosmetics for a while, so if I can anytime in the near future purchase this palette, I'm going to. I saw Smoky Glow playing with it and I was like, that just looks so pretty. It looks absolutely stunning. I love all the shades. I mean, it's a very romantic palette and I would definitely jive with that one. The next question, a palette I regret buying. I actually have 2 palettes for this question. I couldn't help it. The first one is the Rivera palette. I bought this one around the same time that I bought the Alyssa Edwards palette, and these two have very similar color stories. I also regret purchasing this one just because I don't use it that often and I really don't love the color story, and it's so similar to the Alyssa Edwards palette that it's not a palette that I needed to buy. The next palette that I regret picking up is the Divine palette, and it's by Kat Von D, and it has nothing to do with Divine because I absolutely love drag queens and think that that is so cool. I just don't use this. However, I do love this silver shade. I will pull it out just for that. But the rest of the shadows, I don't use them. I either have them in other palettes or it's just something that's more accessible. I know that this is based on the color story that Divine used on her own eyes, and that's completely awesome and everything, and I love it. And the names are based off of movies and things, and I don't know, I just don't reach for it, and I bought it mostly just for the packaging and the nostalgia and that it's drag queen and things like that instead of really thinking about my purchase beforehand. Question number 3, a palette I haven't used as much as I thought. This was an easy one when I was looking at all of my palettes. That is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice. I purchased this thinking I was going to use it all the time. I was going to love it. I was going to hit pan in it. When in all honesty, I purchased this for the packaging and the shadow quality is okay. It's just okay. I can't help it. I haven't really gotten along very well with Too Faced shadows in a very long time with some of the ones that I've tried. They're just not, I don't know, I guess they're just not a brand that I jive well with, so yeah. Then number 4 is a palette I use more than I thought. I actually have 2 for this one. We're gonna start with this guy that you probably see frequently in videos. I use this all the time. I don't always use it on camera, but I'm using this palette all the time. Lately, it's been for the mirror, but if you look, I've used a shadow up, I've hit pan on many shadows. I like to use this from time to time for in my brows if I'm not really feeling like doing my brows with a pomade. I will reach for this and use it for my brows. I don't really wear the shadows on my eyes anymore, but this is a palette that I am constantly using. I'm constantly reaching for, and I'm shocked because I never thought that I was going to use a Tarte palette as much as I do, and I do. I really use it a lot. The next one is also a Tarte palette because I have 2 for this question, and that's the Tarte Clay Play palette. I love this palette. I mean, look at the mirror. It's destroyed, but there's also dips and shadows. I've been using this. It's messy. I use this all the time, especially when I was doing interviews and things like that to get a new job, as well as just kind of when I'm playing or I want a quick makeup look, I'll pull this out. It's shocking that I use this so much because it is such a neutral palette, but it is a good neutral palette. And I mean, if I pull this out, I'm having to pull out one less product of bronzer because I already have everything that I need for that as well. Question number 5, my favorite half neutral, half colorful palette. So this one has been a favorite palette of mine for a long time. I don't use it on camera anymore. I might be pulling it in here and there just because I want to get more use out of it. And that is the Kat Von D Satan Center. And if you don't believe that this is a half neutral, half colorful palette, I don't know who you are. I really do enjoy this palette. My best friend bought this for me for my birthday a few years ago now, and I just absolutely love it. It is a gorgeous half neutral, half colorful palette, and it's a lot of fun to play with the tones and everything in this palette. And it's a sentimental palette to me, but it's also kind of just a fun color story. The next question is a palette I bought for the packaging. I have 2 palettes here. The first one is the I Heart Revolution Tasty Avocado palette. Look at it, it's a cute little avocado, and I don't even like avocado, and I bought this because it's a cute little avocado. It's cute, it's just adorable. I might be buying more from this brand because of packaging and adorableness. I can't help it. It's cute. The next one is the Lunar Beauty Moonspell. While I will say the quality of the shadows is really, really nice, but the packaging really drew me into this one. I mean, let's talk thought out packaging. I will say that 9,000 times that this is one of the most thought out palettes I have ever come across. I absolutely love the packaging. I love that it looks like a book. I love that how they wrote out the names on the shadows. They're kind of slanted, so it doesn't really matter which way you hold it. You can still read the name. I really like that. Gorgeous packaging, just absolutely gorgeous. Number 7, a palette that you like the shimmers more than the mattes. This was an easy pick for me, completely easy, and that is the Magic Mini by Juvia's Place. The shimmers in here are absolutely stunning. I think I've talked about this palette 9,000 times now on my channel, and you guys are probably just tired of hearing it, but the shimmers in here are just absolutely stunning, and I love, love, love them. Love the shimmers in this. They're a lot of fun to play with. Number 8, a palette that you like the mattes more than the shimmers. I actually have, well, there's a lot more than just the 2 that I picked, and I'll explain that in a bit. But the first one is the Farrell palette. I adore the mattes in this palette. I think that they work better than the shimmers. I find the shimmers to be really chunky in that you absolutely have to use a glitter primer or glitter glue to kind of make them work. And I'm not the biggest fan of that all the time. Sometimes I just want to throw it on my lid and go. But the mattes in here blend beautifully. They're very pigmented, but they blend out so well. And that is one reason I just love Menagerie as a whole. But this is my favorite Menagerie Cosmetics palette. I adore this palette so, so much. The other palette that I have to go with this question, and literally this is all of the Norvina palettes. It's the Norvina Volume 3, but literally all of them. The mattes in here work really, really well. The shimmers, I hate them. That might be a little strong. I don't actually hate them. They're just a little more difficult to work with than I've ever experienced with any Anastasia Beverly Hills product, and it's a little bit annoying when I'm expecting the shimmers to go on my lid very well, and working with them I have to really kind of work with them, and that is the most annoying thing. The mattes in these palettes do blend out beautifully and are pretty easy to work with for them being pressed pigments. So number 9 is a palette that happily surprised you. I actually have two, and I think one of them is kind of going to shock you guys, but it's one of the Vault palettes from Morphe and Jaclyn Hill, and this is the Dark Magic palette. I was not expecting to love this as much as I did just because of what was going on at the time that these came out, but I love this palette. This is one of my favorite kind of green grungy palettes. I don't know what is on there but I absolutely love it. It's just grungy and green, and when I went in to try it after hearing a lot of people say, oh, it's okay, it's really not that good, I don't know why you bought that, and then I tried it and I fell in love. So yeah. Then another palette that happily surprised me is the Makeup Revolution Patricia Brights palette. You guys, this is an actually really good Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette. It is really, really good, and I absolutely love it. This is one of my favorite palettes that they have ever come out with. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's very, very colorful. It has some fun jelly shadows in it. It has pressed glitters. It has nice shimmers. The mattes work really well. I was really impressed with this, and they are very, very pigmented, and you don't find that all the time with Makeup Revolution. Some of them are really, really good, and then some of them are just kind of a hit and miss kind of a thing, but no, I absolutely love this one. And for the final question, a palette with the most interesting color story. I picked two palettes, and I think they have kind of different color stories, but kind of fall into a deeper, darker, kind of grungier color story. I've been getting more into like grungy color stories lately. I don't know why I'm drawn to them. It could be that fall's coming up. I don't know. But the first one is the Celestial Thunder palette by Dominique Cosmetics. It looks like this. I absolutely love this color story. I love a good set of oranges with a teal for some reason, but I also kind of like the unexpected pops of color with the pink and just things like that. I just think this is absolutely beautiful, and it might not be the most unique color story, but it is a very much loved color story in my collection. Then the final palette I'm going to talk about here on this video is the Dragon Child palette. This was Makeup Monsters Cosmetics, but as you guys know, they are now Menagerie Cosmetics, and I love this color story. I absolutely love it. It is so fun to play with. These shadows are super pigmented, like so pigmented that they stain my eyelids, but I don't find that to be a bad thing. I don't care if an eyeshadow stains my eyelids, because the next day I'm just gonna cover it up with more eyeshadow. But I do absolutely love this color story. It's so fun. I love the purples and the blue, and then this kind of dark gray. It's not really black, it's a dark gray, but it works very, very nicely. And then this teal shade is absolutely gorgeous. I bought this palette specifically for the color story when I saw it, and seeing so many YouTubers at the time playing with it, I had to have it. So I went ahead and picked it up. Well, what did you guys think of my answers to these questions? Have you done this tag? If you have, let me know down below. I would love to watch your video. Please go check out Angelica's channel, or Angelica. I don't know how to say it properly. I'm sorry. But please go check out her channel and her video. I will have both linked down below. I think she deserves way more subscribers than she has. And if you could, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, leave a comment down below so that we can chat, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!